Welcome everyone to our first PTA meeting of the year. We are calling to order at 7:06 p.m. Our agenda for today is our officers' reports, our icebreaker, our committee updates, a word from Principal Johnson, unfinished and new business, announcements, and then we'll close out. Okay, first up is Liz.
Meeting minutes were sent out. Did anybody have any changes or amendments? All righty, those are approved as presented. Thank you.
All right, everyone. What I wanted to talk to you guys about is we have an opportunity to coordinate with the Community Coalition for Public Education. Right now, they're getting things up and running for the April school board elections. So we're working on collaborating with them to host a forum. So if people have questions or things that they want to submit as far as ideas for questions for candidates, please email the info email and in the subject line, put school board candidate questions. Does anyone have any questions about that? Okay, sounds good. Next up is our treasurer's report. Unfortunately, Nicole couldn't be with us this evening, but we do have our balance from 11/20 at $3,215.45. We had $873.83 worth of expenses, and we brought in $1,529.03 for income, leaving us with a final balance of $3,000. $870.65. We did have a full treasurer's report in the email that was sent out with the agenda. Does anyone have any questions or concerns? Okay, if not, I would entertain someone to make a motion to accept the treasurer's report as presented.
Carolyn, I motion to approve the treasurer's report as presented.
This is Jacqueline. I second the motion.
Thank you. And you can vote in the chat. Aye if you agree, nay if you disagree, and you can abstain if you don't vote.
Motion's approved.
Okay. Then next up is our revised budget for the remainder of the year. If you stop sharing, I can share. Thank you. Share screen. Let me see if I can make this bigger so you can see it. Okay, so you did receive this in your email. We are doing a revised budget because they end. Maybe I can make this bigger. I don't know. Can we see that? Can you guys see that? Is that okay? Is that better? Okay. So we are presenting a revised budget for the end of the school year based on our fundraising efforts so far this year. We are a little behind where we thought we would be at this point in the year. And so in order to make up the deficit and make sure that we don't overspend, we are submitting a new revised budget based on our current levels of support. So I'm hopeful that you guys had a chance to review this revised budget in the email and came ready with any questions or suggested changes. Everything that we changed is in red. So these are the new numbers that we're looking at as far as what we changed them to. Does anyone have any questions or concerns about the revised budget?
I have a question. Do we know how much we made off the Marcus gift cards yet? I didn't see that.
We do. We actually just got the check. So that's why it wasn't on there, because we literally just got the check. I just picked it up from school. I can open it if you would like.
You don't have, I was just wondering.
Yeah, we're gonna present on it next meeting because it'll
No
be
problem. Just
Okay.
wondering.
okay. Yeah, we just got the check today.
You don't want to drum roll and open it in front of everybody?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Oops.
Okay. So if we don't have any questions and we're okay with moving forward with the budget, this will be on the agenda for next month for a final vote. This is just the presentation of the budget. This is not actually the vote for tonight. So you have time to review this all again in your email if you hadn't had an opportunity to look over it. So we would just wanted to entertain questions tonight if you had questions about how it's revised. And if you do want to make any other suggested amendments, feel free to email the info email with suggested amendments. We do need those in writing prior to next month's meeting. If you would like to make any suggested changes, we would ask that you let us know where you would like those, where the differences would be. So it's not just saying, I don't like this number here. You would have to say how you're going to adjust it up or down in another area to support that change, because we do have to have a balanced budget in the end. All right. Any other questions? All right. Then next up is our icebreaker. So we actually don't have to go into breakout rooms tonight. Yay! So we are going to be playing Would You Rather? And so I am just about to open up the poll. And so we can take some time to answer the questions, and then we'll go through them one by one, and we will take answers from each side of the questions. Oh, this is the wrong one. Sorry, this is our old one. Sorry, guys. And that, pretend you didn't see that. That's the ones from our first meeting. Sorry. Okay, here we go. New questions, relaunch. Oh, I did never change my name. There's only one. Oh, okay. I think now everyone has participated. Yay. Okay. So I will share the results with you. So first up, would you rather travel the world for a year with all expenses paid or have $40,000 to spend on whatever you want? So can I have someone volunteer who answered? There were multiple people who answered on both sides. So could I have someone who picked travel the world for a year, all expenses paid? Unmute and tell us why.
That's what I selected because I feel like if somebody just handed me $40,000, I'd spend it on something unwise. And then I'd look back and be like, why did I spend that money on that? Whereas with travel, like, you know, you're always going to have memories from that. And I don't trust myself is essentially what it comes down to.
Good answer. Good answer. Okay, now somebody who was on team 40,000. Oh, come on. There's more than one person who picked that.
I'd prefer 40 grand because then I can spread it out over time and I could still travel if I wanted. I could invest and make it more than 40 grand. I feel like I could do a lot more with it. Although Liz brings up a good point about not being disciplined enough to actually follow through. So I still think I would choose the 40K.
All right. Thanks, Angel.
Hey,
Okay.
Carmen, are we able to see the results?
Oh, did I not share them? Oh my God. Sorry, guys. Yes. Here you go. Now you can see how other people felt. Sorry, my bad. My bads. Thank you for telling me, Angel. I thought I hit share. Sorry. Okay. Next up is, would you rather speak to animals or speak 10 foreign languages? So let's have someone who answered speak to animals and tell us why.
There's Google Translate. There's always somebody you can hire to translate or somebody you can find that can speak another language, but I don't know anybody that can speak it to an animal. So that is too unique of a skill for me to pass by.
All right. Okay. And someone from Team Speak 10 foreign languages and tell us which languages you would choose.
I'm choosing languages. I feel like I already talk to animals. They just don't talk back to me, or I don't understand what they're saying. Versus I'd love to be able to, you know, travel the world and have conversations with people and not rely on technology to help me figure it out, because my 4 years of French have served me so well.
All right. Do you have any top level languages you want to add to that list outside of the French?
Probably Italian, German, because my family's from there. I don't know. That's it.
Okay, thank you. All right. Battle of the Ickies. So who would you rather walk barefoot in a public restroom or get poisoned? Give me someone from walk barefoot in a public restroom and why you chose that versus the poison.
I'd rather walk barefooted in a public restroom because I wouldn't want to, because I wouldn't want to get poisoned. So I choose to go walk barefooted in the bathroom, then I wouldn't get poisoned.
All right, thanks, Colin. All right, there were very few people who said poisoned. Please tell me who chose poisoned and why.
Can you scroll down, Carmen, so we can see, because we're on,
Oh, you can't see that. Oh,
that's
sorry.
okay.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Oh, wait, I still can't see.
You can scroll yourself on it.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. Really?
Oh, because there was like I scrolled.
Thank you. Thank you. Sorry, my bad.
It's okay. Someone who chose poisoned?
I guess I'll speak again. I don't know. I feel like I can handle. I'm assuming that I'm not going to die from the poison. I'm assuming it's like a light poisoning, and so I'll take a tummy ache on the sofa over walking through a bathroom.
Awesome. Okay, next up, would you rather be an only child or have 10 siblings? Wow, man, nobody wants to be my baby. Oh, okay. Who chose only child? And tell us why.
I did. Sorry, it's really loud here. I don't know. I feel like I was almost an only child, so it wouldn't be that different. My brother's 10 years older.
Okay, that makes
I enjoyed the attention.
awesome. Go, Karen. Okay, so we had a lot of 10 siblings. Tell us about that. Who chose 10 siblings? Okay, go ahead, Ami.
I am an only child, but I have a really big family. So I've been around a lot of my cousins and stuff. So I mean, as a young kid, I wouldn't have mind being an only child, but now I wish I had more siblings to be with and talk to and etc. So I'd rather have more siblings. As you get older, I feel it's more important to me.
But 10 is so extreme, but awesome. Okay.
I have like 33 cousins, so.
There you go. There you go. 10 seems like nothing. All right. Last and final share out. Would you rather be the prom king or queen or the valedictorian? Let's hear from a prom king or queen.
I chose that because I know the valedictorian and salutatorian from my high school, and they didn't do much with their lives, so I'd much rather be popular. Just gonna put it out there.
Right.
I don't care. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Well, you weren't alone, love. You weren't alone. Thank you. And who wants to be the valedictorian and why?
So I actually was voted prom queen, and I feel like as an adult, as a kid, it was cool, but as an adult, I would feel more pride if I could say, oh, I was a valedictorian. You know, it's almost like a badge of honor. And prom queen kind of just feels, I don't know, it's weird to talk about as an adult.
I love it. Thanks for sharing, prom queen Angel. Thank you guys for playing along. I appreciate you. Next up are our committee reports. First, we have Jacqueline.
Hi guys, I'm Jacqueline, the chair for the Classroom Parent Committee, and we are continuing on with our staff appreciation. For the holidays, we gifted the teachers with the help of Nicole, our treasurer. She created a really cool paperweight. I don't even know what to call the material, but she put some really cute school-related items in a mold of some sort and created her own paperweight, and we gave them a gift card as well to Duncan. So that's what we've been up to over the last month. So that's it from my committee.
Thank you. We did receive a nice thank you from Miss Baker.
Oh, nice. Good.
Those were adorable.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good.
Yeah, that's all Nicole.
Yep. Good job, Nicole.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Next up, Liz.
Looking at the participant list, I don't really know that my agenda items are very relevant, but just a reminder that we do have a website, Goodland Montessori PTA.org. We try to keep it as updated as possible. And then also, if you're not a part of our mailing list, you can join that. There's a button down at the bottom of the website for joining. And then we include you on any relevant communications that the PTA is sending out. That's all. Thanks.
Thank you, Liz. Kelly is not here today, but so I'll share out on her behalf. Community involvement has an upcoming event happening this month for MLK Day of Service. We are going to be honoring the NICU, and we're going to be doing the postcard campaign / card creation like we did last year, and then the PTA's that's the school's contribution, and then the PTA's contribution will be the snacks for the staff that work on that unit. Up next is fundraising with Missy.
Drum roll, please. I know what the Marcus gift card fundraising total is. That raised $147. So a little bit low, but not surprising considering we're still in a pandemic and people are not wanting to, sit in a movie theater with people. Trivia night. We are hosting our 2nd annual virtual trivia night. Come one, come all, make your teams. It pays to be a know-it-all. We are offering prizes to the top 3 teams. And restaurant night. We were trying to work with a bunch of different local restaurants to kind of hook it up with trivia night. And due to COVID, a lot of places just aren't able to do it right now. So we do have an application in to Chipotle to try and do a restaurant night February 1st from 4 to 8. And if we sell $150 worth of food, we earn 30 to 33% of sales. So spread the word and tell all your friends to go to Chipotle once we're approved for that fundraiser.
Thank you.
I have a question quick. Sorry.
Yeah.
What are teams supposed to look like for trivia night? Like how many people do we all have to be in the same space?
Last year when we did it, it was 100% virtual. Our team, we had a team from school and a couple of my friends had joined. So the Montessori peeps, Pink Tower peeps I think there were 9 or 11 of us. So I know there were teams as small as 4 and ranging all in between. So whatever you would like.
We had some duos too that were husband and wife duos. We had a couple of those too. So it can be as small as like you by yourself if you're a know-it-all, or maybe a date night couple or big, huge group. It's up to you.
Cool.
I was one of the couples and I wish we would have had a team. So I advocate that you find a team.
And I would recommend, just from years of doing various trivia nights with friends and things, it's hard to do 2. I would recommend at least 4.
Okay, perfect. Thanks.
Oh, Angel, part of it is because we have the team selected in advance, we do breakout rooms for when you're working together to try to come up with the answers, and then you come back together into the big group when we reveal the answers. So even though you're not together, you don't have to be in the same room. So I don't think we said that. You don't have to be in the same room to have a team of multiple people.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Thanks.
How much does it cost?
$15 a person. Colin, Liz just put the link to purchase in the chat and it has all the details in there.
I just have to say, I had a great time last year and I can't wait for our team to get together. However, well, we'll talk about it, but I think if we have more than 4 or 5 this time, we'll probably break up into 2 groups. So, but yeah, I'm excited.
Okay, next up is Carolyn.
All right, so current members, I know we're inching close to 100, which is great. And there is a call out to our executive board to make some calls to individuals that they know that might be interested in joining the PTA. So hopefully we'll be able to get over that 100 mark soon. And then watchdogs, that's kind of the big thing that is going on right now. So there is a launch party for the watchdogs on January 27th from 5 to 7 in the evening. So this is for watchdogs. If you're just a reminder, is dads of great students. That's what the dogs part stands for. And so this is geared towards gentlemen in the lives of students, can be dads, grandparents, grandfathers, uncles, other individuals that are connected to children at the school and really would be helpful in the school in a variety of ways. So if you have any questions in regards to that, the launch party, there is a Facebook group, I know, that's been launched for that you may join, or you can also reach out to myself. You can reach out to Carmen's husband, Sal, or Matt Carpino. Those are they're the co-chairs of that subcommittee under membership. So they have the information, additional information on that as well. And that's all that I have. If there are any questions on that. Right.
Are they doing that virtually?
The watchdogs or the launch party?
The launch party.
No, it's at Infusino's and January 27th from 5 to 7. So there'll be more information being posted on our social media and come in the newsletter and on our website.
And I did put the link to the group if you're interested in joining.
Thanks, Carmen.
Yeah.
So yes, that will be an in-person event. Any other questions? Okay, I will move the slide forward now, okay?
Okay. Reflections, Robin isn't able to make it tonight. So I just wanted to let you guys know that we did have a nice event for the ugly sweater contest, or not contest, but ugly sweater making. So we did have about 8 students participate, and it was a good time for those that were able to attend. The reflection submissions are due this month. So if you and your students are interested in being considered for the statewide and national competition, please get your submissions in. You can email Robin. The prompt for this year's competition is "I can change the world by ... So we look forward to those entries. Up next is Angel or Miss Ami. Which also, when you're thinking about your submissions, they are only limited to 2D art. So as far as I know, those are the levels. There are multiple categories, but that's the categories that we're dealing with. So like paintings or pictures that are drawn. Sorry, thank you.
Hi. So we took a little break due to the holidays, and now we'll get back into the groove and start reaching out again to the community, and then hopefully The staff members have sent out the survey, are asking families within the school for help and donation requests, and we are still looking for anyone who would like to join our committee. So I think now, starting next week, we'll get back into the momentum a little bit more. So yeah, there's not much to report at our end at the moment.
All right, thank you. Next up is nominating. It's officer interest. So I am asking any and all people to think about who they would like to lead in the officer positions for next year's PTA. All of the offices are open. It would be really great if we could tap a new president. That is where we're having an issue potentially of finding new interests. So I'm hopeful that you guys can think of, or maybe you want to step into the role of being next year's leadership. If so, there was a link to a interest form if you are interested, and you don't have to be a parent to lead the PTA. You could be a staff member as well, just saying. So hopefully we will keep filling our slate, and we'll be ready to go in April to present the slate to the membership. Does anyone have any questions about that?
Can we get that link in the chat in case we want to forward it to someone?
Sure.
There we go. Thanks, Liz.
I gotta sing. I noticed at one PTA meeting, at our council PTA meeting, one person asked, okay, I used to be on the park PTSA. They said, like, if a staff person was like president, like if a teacher was president or vice president, they could not be on the checking account because they were a staff person, so they couldn't be on the checking account. So that's from the state PTSA. That's their rules. Just to let you know.
Thanks, Colin. Up next is Principal Johnson.
Good evening. We did it. K8 is a go with all eight votes. So not really surprised, but also relieved. I'm very excited about it. I'm mostly excited, obviously, for students and families. So thank you for supporting that. I actually had an interview with the Journal-Times yesterday about the expansion. So whenever that comes out, I will let everyone know. So yeah, so thank you. Excited. The work is started. We will be putting something in the Friday Focus, which is an email to all staff members on Fridays from like the superintendent. Thank you. And that will be going out, I think we said in February for training. And so I'm working now with partnerships for training centers. Unfortunately, I'm not going to say they're few and far between, but I want to partner with a training center that is robust and meaningful, because I really want, appropriately trained Montessori teachers coming in. So that is work being done now. Parent Ed Night. So we had talked about doing something surrounding the forward exam, and I reached out to community involvement this week, and I said, we're actually Carrie, the head of testing for the district, and she said, oddly enough, community and family involvement is having a meeting next week about testing. So I thought, there you go. So I shared that on our Facebook page. We'll also put that link in the January newsletter, which will probably be coming out tomorrow or Monday at the latest. So that involves all sort of testing, MAP, PALS, Forward. And then if we see the need to do more of those in February or March, we certainly can do that. And sort of have a school-based parent at night, and maybe Carrie can speak on that as well. So hopefully everyone saw that on the Facebook page. I think they are asking to pre-register, but I'm certain if you pop in, that's fine as well. January virtues. Oops. Let me look. Sorry, I should know this. January virtues. I have it. They are appreciation, because that we thought that would tie in really well with like Martin Luther King Day and our day of service. So appreciation and optimism, because of course we always think January, we need to be optimistic even in these times with a new year. So those are January virtues. Montessori mornings. I don't know. Sorry, I'll have to look. We sort of switched it up this year. Let's see, we've done 4 planes. We've done absorbent mind. I'll be putting that in the January newsletter, but that will still be taking place, and I'm sure it'll be something exciting. I'm honestly always excited to do those. I think I've told you, speaking to any Montessori teacher, if you start talking about Montessori theory and education, we're always thrilled to offer our knowledge and what we know. So school restaurant night, our last one was at Georgie Porgy's. We had a great turnout, so thank you so much. I don't know if we've gotten the check yet. I've returned to school tomorrow. Lisa hasn't mentioned anything, so I will keep you abreast of that. And I think our next one is in April. And I know Lisa has been working on setting up a restaurant for April. ESSER funds. So oddly enough, when we meet in our leadership team, you would think, hey, we have this money, let's spend it. And, it's been, I'm not going to say challenging, but it's been, a process in how we're going to spend it. Honestly, every teacher will be getting a carpet sweeper, which you may think is silly, but I think it's actually really great. That will allow students to sort of help at the end of the day, since all of our classrooms have like an area rug. So we're excited about that. Those should be coming in shortly. We also will be getting a training. We were going to do it this year in a professional learning day, but we decided to push it off at the beginning of next year in one of our PL days at the beginning of August. And that PL is centered around outdoor education. So I think that's really important now in COVID times, and it's natural based, it's sort of Montessori based. So we're excited about that. So teachers will be getting trained on some outdoor learning activities in August. Once the school calendar comes out for next year, I'll be reaching out to them, and Kim Smith was instrumental at putting that together. And we just talked today, there is a Montessori in the public sector conference coming up at the end of April, beginning of May, that I had always planned on attending. So some of us are AMI trained, some of us are AMS trained, and we talked in the leadership team today, and all of those organizations have their own sort of conferences. But I do believe that the Montessori in the public sector is probably the best bet for us, because we are a public Montessori school, and the guest speaker looks amazing. She's talking about brain development and equity. And so I will be going to that, and I opened it up to 2 other staff members, first to the leadership team and 2 others. So that may be how we're spending a little bit of that ESSER money as well. So for some professional learning. I feel like when we went through that ESSER fund qualifications, a lot of it was, professional learning based, which is great. Building maintenance, our building is slowly but surely changing into, sort of the Goodland Montessori look. We've had a painter in the building for the past month, and he's been painting our school colors. So the poles, I don't know if you remember, but we had like green, like the heaters were green and the poles were yellow because that was the Goodland color. So now the heaters are green and the poles are blue and gray. He's sort of refreshing other walls and areas in the building as well. Of course, he loves being at our school. He said, you know, finding more projects. I love being here. The staff is so friendly. The kids are great. I don't have, my paints don't go missing. They're not on the floor when I come back from the bathroom. And so, yeah. And so anyway, so I'm finding really great stuff for him to do. So I don't know if he's been there all week, but you know, he's really, has he? Good. So it's been good. So really we're trying to find any spot in the building. And you know, our building needed like a little facelift anyway, let's be honest, with paint and such. So that's been great. And then we also have our new sign coming in with our logo. That looks wonderful with our marquee in the front. I think the plan now is to get that. I think they're going to take it out. I said, just take it out. And then they're going to rehab it in their shop and then bring it back. So if you see a missing sign in the middle of that brick, that's why. I said, let's not wait till summer. Let's just get it done. So that's taking place. We'll also have a sign on like our gym facing Ohio Street with our new logo and name. And then we're also partnering, I think Karen's on here, with CASE students, and they, engineering students, they are taking on our project of that sand pit. We're removing the sand, leveling it out, putting some wood chips in there, and they are going to be doing like a natural playscape. So we're hoping that gets finished by spring, but actually the engineering students came out probably last month with Carrie, actually, not Karen, Carrie, and took a peek at it. And we had the head of building and grounds, Jim Hooper, there just to make sure everything's going to be safe and you know, up to safety standards. So we're looking forward to that. And I'm actually really excited to partner with CASE students. I think it's meaningful, and you know, I'm hoping to have a little sign that this was built by some CASE students. So that's exciting. Forward exam. Yeah, when did we say? I think that's March. And again, we have that parent education night next week surrounding that. And again, the community and family involvement committee, department is putting that on. I will now start meeting with, well, I do meet with the lower OWL team, and we're going to sort of focus on forward and how we can prepare our students in class on, you know, doing the best they can on that exam. It's always a delicate balance of not putting so much pressure on them. You know, testing is testing, and we don't want to give them test anxiety already in third and fourth grade. It is important. It goes on our state report card. It's certainly not the most important thing about our school, but we want to make sure we're prepared. So school report card, that is out. That is on our website. Again, we are an alternate accountability school, and so we aren't exactly ranked or rated yet, but you can see our forward results from last year, and they were good. And, you know, if we look at other schools in the state or district, I actually believed we surpassed most of the state standards. But again, we only had a pool of, you know, 28 of our third graders. So it'll be interesting to see as this year, third and fourth graders take it. Next year, of course, third, fourth, and fifth take it, how we compare to others. But again, I'm really not worried about that. So I think that's it. Oh, well, I mean, I guess we can talk about now the situation we're in. I want everyone to know our teachers are prepared to go remote if we do. That situation really depends right now on staffing. It's really not about positive test results. It's really on, can we staff our buildings and have our students safe in our buildings with the amount of staff we had. I had a staff meeting Monday when staff came back, and sort of told them that we've actually been sort of living in this bubble in RUSD. Our staff has been actually pretty great about coming in. And of course, I wasn't able to come in this week, and we have to do what we can if we're quarantined and such, but we've been pretty good about running our building, not on staff vacancies. However, that can change. I have to report twice a day on staff. And so I think Jane's actually had to go remote today because, again, of staffing issues. It's not really of positive rates in the building. It's because staff have to be quarantined for, I think our USD is still doing the 10-day rule and not the 5-day rule. That could change, but right now it's 10 days if we're positive. Of course, as you probably know, everyone knows probably somebody now that has, tested positive in the past 2 weeks. I did last week. I literally I sneezed 3 times and had some sniffles, and that was it. So I was a little shocked when they came back. But at that rate, teachers had time to prepare Monday and Tuesday, hopefully. And our staff really honestly has been great about already having a Google Classroom set up or the Seesaw account set up. So if your child is even quarantined, they're able to access work. But if we were to go remote individually, an individual classroom, we would be doing live instruction. Or if we would have to go remote because of staffing issues for a school, we would be, having live instruction as well. And again, that's sort of a daily, I have to have my numbers in by 8:30 every night. And that's, a daily look at for the district. So I do know, and I told staff on Monday, we are committed to being in person. And that is the goal. We want students to be in the building. And certainly the next couple of weeks, it's going to be sort of a rotation of students in and out. I think we're hovering at about 75% attendance, which is honestly pretty good, but our parents are also very good at monitoring child symptoms. And I would encourage all of you to use those, RUSD testing sites. Honestly, well, not now, but when I clear up, I'll probably, getting tested once a week is probably a really good idea if you have time for that. When I got tested at this site, I probably waited less than 10 minutes. And in the city in Milwaukee here, it was taking 2-3 hours at other sites. So I would encourage families to use those RUSD testing sites. Any questions, comments, concerns about any of that?
Angel had a question.
Yeah, I was just curious, if we go to virtual, will it, how much notice would we get? Would it be like you find out, at 4:00 on Tuesday and you let us know, Tuesday evening? Would it be, okay, we're going to go virtual Thursday then? What would that look like in a perfect world?
Well, if we're talking about if it's because of a staffing issue, that could be a night before, and that's why, again, right now I'm on a document at 8:30. Our numbers have to be in. If, my boss looks at that and we have to answer, can we run our building safely with the amount of staff we have coming in? That decision would be made the day before if the whole building goes remote. And like I said, I believe that happened with Jane's, and parents were let know the night before. And I know that's not ideal, right? But if we can't run a building if we have no one, no one here, and it's not that staff are just calling in for no reason, it's because they're typically put on, a 10-day quarantine, or they're quarantining because family members are positive. And again, these positivity rates are just skyrocketing. So to answer your question, typically if it's the school, you're probably only going to find out the night before. I don't know if Jane's, is going back, we're going to call it remote, again tomorrow. But I believe they were told, the day before. Right. Or we have, and I have that happening right now in my building where I have a staff member has 3 children. It's sort of a mess, right? I mean, she had to quarantine, but then she has to wait. So yes, but I also know, go ahead, Colin.
Jersted was also, I think, remote. because their staff shortage or something shortage.
And you know what?
I think
Thank
they
you.
were
Yeah,
remote on Wednesday.
Jersted's out till next week. Remote.
Okay.
They made an announcement today.
And you know what? I may have misspoke. I think I was probably talking about Jerstead and not Jane's.
No, they're both still remote.
It was
Oh, they both
both.
still.
It
Okay.
was both Jane's and Jerstead.
Okay. So, could I alert? Well, could I personally do that? Probably not. But again, I am monitoring numbers. I just, before I spoke, looked at our, ASAP, which is where people have to put their absence on for tomorrow. And then they're also monitored at 4:30 a.m. So could I tell you in advance? Possibly, but people come down with symptoms the night before and aren't comfortable coming in, and that happens at 5 a.m. So right now, I don't think we're in any, yellow situation, if you want to call it that. I'm not, we have honestly a lot of support staff out right now, but it looks like tomorrow, all of our teachers are reporting. So that's great. Of course, anytime you're dealing with human beings and HR, there's always, I can't really give a definite answer, especially in this situation we're in. But this is why we're monitoring it, 2-3 times a day.
So
tomorrow we're gonna be good.
So we could get a call like the morning of, though?
No, I don't think it would be the morning of. It would be the night before.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you see the question in the chat, Ms. Johnson, about alerting parents if we get to a yellow situation or we're nearing a place?
Yep. And so I think I just addressed that. I really can't notify, you know what I mean? I report those numbers to my boss, and then they sort of make the decisions there. I really don't anticipate having to go remote unless we have a situation where we have a lot of cases in one room. But honestly, we had that this year and we didn't even, close that classroom down. So like I said, it's really a staffing issue, and that can change so quickly. I'm looking at this now, and again, they look at it at 4:30 a.m. It could be completely different. As of now, I have 5 staff members out. And actually, I think that's up to 6 within the last half hour. But again, those are all like support staff. So typically we can make that work as long as, we have teachers in the building.
Lisa, there was a question about parent volunteers to step in and help.
That's great. But I can't, sorry, I don't. Yes, anytime you want to come and volunteer, your wings approved, come on in and report for the day. But I also can't have a non-certified, staff member in a classroom. It used to be I couldn't even have a para who was like a hired employee, but of course now that's all out the window. And paras and EAs, can carry class as they should, because they're sort of the backbone of our school anyway, right? But yeah, Jacqueline, if that was the case where like I had a teacher out and that EA out, I couldn't like put a parent in there. It has to be like a certified employee, if that makes sense.
No, that makes sense. I'm thinking of support staff. I don't know if you got so light on support staff, if you would have to shut down as well.
I would say no.
Okay.
I've had a couple teachers without their EAs all week, but thank goodness there haven't been teachers out. So I'm able to place Rachel, our in-house sub, in there. But really, anytime you want to come and volunteer at this time and you feel, inclined to do that, you are more than welcome to come in. And I know there will be a space, for you to volunteer. Because again, I think if I'm looking quickly now, I have 4 EAs out. But again, I still have my in-house sub coming in, so we'll be good. I don't know what's going to happen next week, but we'll see. I really personally, I'm feeling like we're sort of at the tip of this, and I'm hoping, you know, we will decline quickly with rates, but who knows the way this is happening. Any other questions, comments?
I just have a question. So do you guys get, like, are the subs from the district, or is it almost always in-house? Like, do those get filled?
Are you asking, Karen, because of personal experience?
Yeah, I am. Like, I really don't understand it. I'm kind of confused. I'm like, wait a second,
Okay.
where are the subs from?
Right. Okay. Well, I will tell you, we do have an in-house sub, and she takes on most of, you know, that responsibility. But we do have a few subs that enjoy coming to work with us. And so, you know, I'm not saying that they decline other positions, but sometimes they, you know, look for us and you know, come in and help. So that's,
Got it.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy if there's subs filling any positions. So
I know they are few and far between, but honestly, we do have, like, one of our parents, she became a certified sub this year. So she's with us quite often when a teacher is out. You know, she'll look for that on ASAP right away, you know, the night before. And so we have sort of the regular subs that enjoy coming to our building. Sorry, I hate that your building is having, I know most are.
it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm only a little bitter.
Anyone else about anything else we talked about?
Yeah, I got a question. Since the Montessori school is going K through 8, is that going to be, are you going to be adding a grade level each year or what?
Yep, we will continue to grow a grade level each year. So next year,
until up to 8th grade, right?
correct. Yep. And that will allow us time to get those Montessori teachers, you know, to get teachers trained.
And then, will you have enough space, or do you got build on or not?
Yeah, we will have enough space classroom wise. You know, there are things that are being talked about now, like a kitchen, right? Like, that's always been a talk and for my, you know, personal conversations with people, I don't understand. But anyway, yeah, so there are little things that may have to happen, Colin. Everything is sort of based on this referendum also going through. You know, our dream is to have, you know, an actual lunchroom, or what is it called? Like an all-purpose building. I don't know if that's going to happen. Of course, there are other needs in the district right now that are more evident. But, you know, that's what's also great about growing a grade each year, is that we can say, you know what, as we're now in 6th grade, we can really see the need for this. So, but yes, as of now, we have the space to grow. We have more than enough space to grow. It'll be interesting to see. We're actually sending out some postcards to private Montessori families. So it'll be interesting to see how many more we get next year. We always have at least 10 to 12 a year. So we're expecting more next year with this expansion news. But yes, as of now, our building is capable of holding a K-8 with just a few minor adjustments.
And so what grade will you be up to next year?
5th.
The beginning, 5th?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, with one new teacher, one new classroom.
Principal Johnson, I just had one question for you, and I just wanted to say I think that it's so far this year has been fabulous, and I think I'm really appreciative of even like the preparation for potential virtual learning. We got some at-home materials today from Miss Ami, and you know, that's great, because I just feel like, unfortunately, we had to go through this for such a long time, but like every time that we go through this, I feel like we're more prepared, and we're more ready, and we're able to flex and bend and be nimble. The question that I have, though, is kind of around mitigation efforts. And I know that, you know, the district's been really proactive in terms of identifying some sites where there's vaccinations happening at the schools. Like Julian Thomas, I know is, it's a community school and they're doing a vaccination clinic there tomorrow, I believe. But was just wondering if there's been any chatter in the district about expanding that and having, vaccination clinics at more schools, like potentially at our school for students and families, just knowing, just I can speak from my own personal experience. We had to pull Madeline out of class twice, was later in the day, thankfully. I don't think she missed too much time in class twice, but I think that that might be prohibiting some parents from get their children vaccinated if they don't have the time, they can't schedule the time. So just I was just wondering if that has been conversation in the district, and if so, when parents might be able to see that so we could help spread the word. And then also if there's any plan for in-school testing of COVID. I know that was also something that was brought up last fall. I was on a call with Dr. Gallion and he was talking about testing actually at the school happening potentially for students and staff. So any update on that?
Okay, so first year vaccination. I personally have not heard of or been in any conversations about vaccinations at Goodland Montessori, unfortunately. That is something I can bring up at, one of our meetings, is that, parents would be interested in having that at site. I think, again, that is also a staffing issue, because I believe it would not be like our in-house nurse. It would be, who we contract out with. So I certainly can put that on the table and ask, if they're thinking about expanding that, for sure. And your second question about testing in-house. We have a limited amount of tests in-house, but families are very much encouraged to go to the testing sites, because again, I think, we have that contract, but then I know this year, 2 of the sites were closed because of, staffing issues. So I think if there's I know our nurse, Susie, is amazing, right? But, right. Yeah, I think so. And I know she just got some more tests in today. So I think if a parent comes in, with an urgent, need, our nurse can test. But I think, I don't want to say for sure, but I think what they're thinking is we can't have everybody coming to our school who's in our school, because we don't have that amount of tests to test 300 students a day or even a week. And the tests we had were expired a few months ago, and she just got new ones today. So I think those testing hubs right now are going to be your best bet. I know they opened, it was just one, and then they opened 2 more. So I'm hoping there are more. But again, when I used it over break, it was extremely efficient, because it is just for our USD students, families, and staff members. So certainly if you're seeing really long lines in community testing centers, I'm hoping you're going to find shorter wait times in the RUSD ones. But I can ask about that as well.
And that brings up one more quick question. So is it still kind of the case then that if your child exhibits symptoms, like they come to school and they start exhibiting symptoms partway through the day, that there's a 15-minute, half-hour window that you have to pick them up in, and then take them home? Or are you pulling them from the class, testing them, seeing what the result? I mean, what is happening there?
Nope. So if a teacher says, hey, this student is exhibiting some signs, i.e. cough, really right now, runny nose, tiredness, something like that, they send them to the nurse, and then nurse Susie sort of takes care of all that. And honestly, that's a parent contact, and parents are asked and requested to pick up student within 30 minutes. And we are not able to even send them home on the bus. And honestly, our community has been amazing. I don't think we've ever had a student sitting in that nurse's office more than 20 minutes waiting to get picked up because of COVID symptoms. Now, if a parent comes in and I've had this happen, they're saying, okay, well, we want to test. we will refer them to the testing centers. We can help them get registered, which they, ask beforehand. Certainly you can do it there, but we ask that you register beforehand. Nurse Susie will typically help them register and then, sort of send them on their way. I have seen her do some, if a family really is in desperate need, I left work, I only have 10 minutes, all of this, give a test then. So, but they do want to sort of to refer families to those testing sites. So Karen, that's interesting. Are they just testing staff? Oh, and students at Case? Well, you guys
think
are.
it's only if they're symptomatic, like in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
Or yeah, that's pretty much it. And I heard those testing sites, 2 of them got shut down because they got COVID. Yeah.
Yeah. I think they're going to open back tomorrow or for sure on Monday. That's what I heard. So Carolyn, I can get back to you on both of those inquiries about vaccinations and.
Yeah, you don't have to get back to me directly. I think that there's just kind of like general questions, things that I think we've all kind of been talking about or thinking about. And I think it's just good information, especially at this meeting, to be able to share out with the entire PTA. And also I think it would be good. I'm an advocate of it, obviously. So I think if there's any way that we can help parents who, particularly on the vaccine point, help parents who are struggling to get their kids, someplace because they're busy, they don't have the time. I think that would be really helpful. So, but you don't have to get back to me about that, Lisa. You got more than enough on your plate. Don't worry about me. So
okay.
Take care.
And like I said, I think as long as you register, from what I've heard, the waiting times at those sites, of course, besides this week, because of staff, have been less than like community sites. And those are, the rapid tests as well. So, yeah, so was I. I was in and out in 5 minutes as well. And then Miss Faggy, you're offering tests to classes with known close contacts. I mean, honestly, and I'm not trying to be flippant, like at this point, we're all close contacts, right? And so I wish that we could be testing every student every week. That's my hope. And that's what, I'm sort of telling teachers, like, encourage your parents to, to test as often as possible, because that's really how we're going to stop this is, like I said, I sneezed like 3 times and I had sniffles. I never thought that I was going to be positive. So I think testing, I worked out that morning, unfortunately. So I think testing is the key to this, but unfortunately we're all close contacts at this point. And, masking is very important. I sent something out to staff today. If any of them need support with students who are not masking appropriately, I will be calling that student to the office. I'll probably be making parent contacts. And so, we're very serious about wearing our masks appropriately in school. We're serious about ventilation. Most classrooms are a bit chilly because they have their windows open, which is great, for more circulation. And so we're certainly doing what we can in the buildings to prevent the spread in our buildings. So.
Principal Johnson, is it possible to leave part of Montessori mornings open for this discussion too? Because I feel like things are changing so much and the rules are just so different all the time. And with the certain surge that's come up recently, it might be a really good idea to remind people of where those testing sites are, what the times and the days are.
That sounds good, since I didn't know what I was presenting. Anyway, so yeah, we can maybe make a short Montessori presentation, then we can leave it open for, COVID related questions in a short presentation. And then maybe I can invite Susie as well. But I certainly have, the information to share. And honestly, that's been part of me getting this newsletter out. I start my parent note and I'm like, I don't even know. Hi, like, what are we doing? I don't know. So yeah, that's a good idea. Thank you.
Lisa Johnson, I had another suggestion. I have a suggestion for you. With the testing sites that RUSD is doing, Maybe, and Carmen too, maybe you guys could put on your Montessori Goodland Facebook page for the parents to know where they can go and get tested. And also if Carmen could put them on the PTA website Facebook page. That might be good for the parents.
Yes,
parents
thank
know
you,
what to go
Colin.
to.
And I thought I did that a few weeks ago and I may not have. So I'm gonna do that tonight or tomorrow for sure. So thank you.
Principal Justin, if you didn't,
And also let them know if they need appointment or if they just can go there and get them tested.
I was just gonna say, if we don't have the Julian Thomas for tomorrow up, we should probably get that up early in the morning.
I can go to, I think our USC shared it. I'll just go and share it right now.
Thanks.
And I'm looking right now as well.
Since we are over time, I'd like to ask if we could move forward in the agenda.
Yeah. Does anyone have any unfinished or new business that they would like added for next month's meeting? Okay, hearing none. There are a couple of updates on the announcements. The grants committee meeting for January is being postponed till February. And I think that's the only other change that we had that I'm aware of. Yeah, so that's the only other change that we have is the grants committee meeting is being pushed till February. Okay, then we are open for a motion for adjournment.
I motion to adjourn the meeting.
A second?
All right, then we are good to go. We've exhausted the agenda. Thank you, everyone. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Yeah, goodbye.
Bye.
Good night. Thank you all. Take care. Bye.